My name is Mike Brightman with Brightman Designs. Thank you guys all for coming in today for the online help session. And we're going to start off by taking a lap through a layout file. And I want to show you how I've been building scrapbooks for the Condoc tools. And the Condoc tools are available at sucondoc.com. And Condoc tools, basically, they really expedite. Let's go to our actual site there. So the Condoc tools really expedite creating presentations in SketchUp and Layout. So really what it does, though, is it manages all of your layers, scenes, and styles. Not only does it manage it, but it completely expedites it down to a brainless one click of a button, which is a good thing because there's a lot that can be messed up when you're using those layers, scenes, and styles. So these tools really take all the guesswork out of it, make it very, very quick and easy to have success with setting up scenes in SketchUp and then putting them into a presentation in Layout. So what we're going to look at, though, is let me jump over here and take a look at one of our scrapbooks. And I want to show you in here we've got our project folder. And so these are kind of my master collection of the Condoc scrapbooks. And let's say that we wanted to create another type of plan. So what you can do is, let's just start with our construction plan. And I'm going to show you how you can take a construction plan and we're going to turn it into a furniture plan. And so what I'll do is I'm going to copy that scrapbook and head over to my desktop. And in my temp folder, I've got this scrapbook demo folder, and we're just going to use that. So I'll just trash everything I've got so far, and I'm going to paste that construction plan scrapbook into that folder. So a layout file, let's look at that also. I want to open that file in Layout and show you what that scrapbook looks like. Okay, so a scrapbook is a pre-built. It can be pre-built pieces of annotation, but the way that I use scrapbooks is I like to stack all my viewports together, optimize all of them for raster, vector, or hybrid rendering, and then set them to a scale, assign the scenes, and get them all packaged up so I can just dump all these stacked viewports into my presentation with one click. So if you look at what each one of these scrapbooks actually is, if I were to right-click, actually, I'll just make a copy of this and right-click and choose Ungroup. And check it out. You've got several viewports stacked on top of each other. And each one of these viewports, this one is Construction Plan Light, this one is Hatch A, we've got Hatch B right here, and then you've got Heavy. So you need all four of these viewports in order to make a complete construction plan as outlined in my book, The SketchUp Workflow for Architecture. Now, you can imagine that would be a pretty tough task if I have to go through here and modify every single one of these viewports. It's actually really tricky to do because you have to like ungroup it and then nudge things out of the way and then like scoot it over a bit. It's just a really tricky thing to get to each one of these viewports and actually assign the correct scene over here in your SketchUp model inspector. So because that's so difficult, I was kind of looking for another method to make all this happen. And I learned a while ago when someone was helping me troubleshoot one of my layout presentations that you can simply change the layout extension from .layout to .zip. And then you're able to look at the files within that layout, within the layout file, and kind of modify those and change them. So if really all I need to do is go in here and say I want LO Construction Plan 01 Light to be set to the scene LO Furniture Plan Light, well, I'd have to go through and select each one of those furniture plans through here. I don't want to do that. I want to really expedite that. That would take a long time to fish through all of these levels and all of these scrapbooks. So what we're going to do is close this, and I'm not going to save that, but let me open it again, and I'm going to save it as 2015 because it's giving me that warning. I want to make sure. Let's just save this and make sure I'm in 2015. Okay, we're good. Okay, so we don't need our backup file, but what I am going to do is I'm just going to right click on this and choose rename, and then we're going to change the extension to .zip, and it'll ask you if you really want to do that. We'll say yes. Now what I need to do is extract all of the files in here. So I can right click and choose extract all, and we'll say extract. And so now I have that folder. So these are duplicates. This one's zipped, this one is not. So we're going to go in here and edit some of these. So we'll go to, let's just look at what creates this layout file. You've got your style manager. That doesn't look so good. That's kind of a tricky thing to understand. It's all in XML. That doesn't really mean anything to me. But your references, you can start to look at this and see, you know, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but I can understand that it's referencing this PNG. You can see the insertion date, and you can see all those different references that are going in there. Now, document properties, maybe a little bit simpler, and the document just kind of, I'm assuming that's how the maybe in the document setup, that's where all those guys are kind of, all those settings are stored for the actual document. Now where we're going to mess around is in our pages. So here's a folder called pages, and when I double click on this and open it, you can see that each one of these pages is referencing a page of my scrapbook. So what I can do is I'm going to copy this text. I'll go to copy. I want to find all the text. I'm sorry, I want to actually do this. I want to copy all of this stuff. So I'll edit, copy, and then we do edit, replace. And so I want to replace LO construction plan 02 space dash space with LO furniture plan 02. So when you click on replace all, what that does is it just swapped all through this document. We can look at how many times that got replaced. Say find next, you can see it was replaced several different times throughout this document. So we don't want to have to go and sift through this and find all that stuff ourselves. We just want to use the find and replace. So this one's good to go. I'll save that, and let's go to the next one. So here's LO furniture plan 00. Let's see. I thought I was working with the construction plan. I might have messed with that one a little bit, but we'll just keep with the process here. We're going to change everything in here from construction plan 03 to furniture plan. So we're going to find all of those, and we're going to change all of those to this. So furniture. Let's say replace all, close it, save it. Let's double check on this one. Here's furniture plan. I'm going to scroll down. Okay, so here's construction plan. I was probably messing with this last night when I was just kind of prepping for what I was going to do today. So we'll look for construction plan, and I'm going to go to edit, find and replace, which is actually Control H, and then paste these guys in, and we're going to do furniture plan. Alright, so replace all, close it, save it. And then I think we're good here. This guy's furniture plan, so we're all set on that one, and we've got 3 more to do. LO construction plan 04, Control H, Control V, and then we'll go to furniture, and let's replace all, save it. Alright, so roof plan, we're not going to worry about our roof plan because that doesn't really fit with our furniture plan. And then we'll grab this one, Control H, and set this to furniture plan. Alright, so you got to make sure though that you are naming, I mean your naming conventions have to match exactly the placeholder file. The placeholder file, and actually let me, before I go into that, we're going to replace construction plan, furniture plan, replace all those, close it, save it, we're done. Okay, so the placeholder file is called relink this file, and you need to make sure that within this SketchUp file that your scene name, when you look at your scene names here for furniture plan, so we need to match the naming conventions of that exactly. And I know I'm doing that because I actually used the plan generator here to create all of these scenes, and that sets up all of my naming conventions perfectly. So just beware that, you know, when you're adding these scenes in there, you want to, or changing the names around, you really got to make sure that you're matching that spot on. All right, so let's close this. We don't need to save that. And now back to our construction plan. So, okay, so now what we need to do though is we need to, you don't want to, if I were to right click on this and send to compress folder and zip this again, that disrupts something. I'm not exactly sure. I know just enough about this stuff to kind of mess around in here and be dangerous. But I would definitely suggest to always archive. You never want to work on your master files, and just in case something goes wrong. So I'm going to open this in a new window and stretch it over here and kind of push that against the right side of my screen. And then let's kind of get this split screen view going. All right, so this is my construction plan.zip, and here's my pages. I'm going to leave that as that zipped file, and we're going to go in here and take all of these pages and dump them over in here and do a copy and replace. So we'll copy and replace all of those. All right, and then now we can back out, and this guy, we're going to rename this dot layout, hit enter, and now this is where I cross my fingers, double click on this and go to layout. There, it opened. Okay, so now the labels stayed the same, but what I'm looking for here is when I select any of these viewports, they should all be referencing my furniture plan. So there we go. So instead of digging through every single one of these groupings of viewports, you can just basically extract the page XML files out of here and then edit them in your text editor really quick and then throw them back together. So I would definitely use this. I would definitely use this type of a technique to add multiple levels, because if you look at it, you know, we could just keep duplicating pages and then go into the XML and just swap out like level 5, 6, 7, instead of having to go into each one of these and go and choose those scenes. So it's not that it can't be done, it's just really a tedious job. And that the first round of scrapbooks that I built the manual way, and it took me several days of very, very tedious work until finally I got kind of fed up with doing that and figured this thing out. So anyway, that's kind of an overview of editing a layout file using a text editor.